Hello everyone, it's Sandra and welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be all about my streamlined bronzer selection. This is actually the first day that I've put makeup on in the last 2 weeks almost. I've been sick, so I started off 2024 on not the best note, and I haven't been this sick in like 2 years. So it was just a really strong head cold, but I'm finally sort of maybe 80% able to breathe, which is better than before. I felt up for it. I felt in the mood to really put on a full face of makeup. Applied a liberal amount of bronzer today just to feel something. I haven't seen the sun in weeks. It's been really dark and gloomy and cold. And I also went really overboard with a lip liner today. I kind of feel like I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder. I kind of feel like Goldine. If you know, you know. If you're a fan of lip plumpers, here's what I did. The Too Faced Lip Injection Lip Liner in the shade Hot and Spicy. I have been loving this shade. It's such a good reddish brown shade, really nice for overlining the lip. Pretty strong lip plumper in it. So if you don't like the sensation of hot burning lip plumping, you will like stay away from these. I feel like I just finished the Hot Ones challenge. That's kind of what my lips feel like. Just like, you know, you just ate some really good spicy wings. And then for the gloss, this is such a little delight. I received this in PR a few weeks ago now, and I love it. It's so fun. This is not lip plumping. This is just a plain old gloss. It's the Too Faced Kissing Jelly Gloss Juicy Lip Oil / Gloss Hybrid. And this is in the Sour Watermelon scent. It's just a really sheer pink. There's barely any color to this, but it smells delicious. I love watermelon Jolly Ranchers, and this is exactly what this smells and tastes like. So it's just really fun and nostalgic for me. They have a whole bunch of different scents, but this is my favorite. The texture really is, it's more of a thicker lip gloss texture than an oil texture. It's really cushiony on the lips. It's not slippy and slidey. It's not as thin as the Merit lip oils, for example. More on the gloss side as opposed to the oil side. It's really delightful for me because it reminds me of a candy that I really love. So this video is not about lip products though. This video is about bronzers, and I wanted to share that I finally finished my Project Pan bronzer. This has been in my Project Pan for 2 years, I think. Finally finished it. This was the Becca bronzer in the shade Capri Coast. Here she is, done and dusted. I loved this bronzer. It was really beautiful, a really nice, warm, slightly luminous powder bronzer. Really big fan of it. Took a long time to use it up. I finally used it up, and I had told myself I am not going to buy a luminous finish powder bronzer until I finish this up. So I finally finished this up. I gave myself permission to buy a new bronzer, a new powder bronzer with a luminous finish, and I settled on this one. This is the Chantecaille Real Bronze in the shade Sirena. This is in the special limited edition packaging from their Cosmos collection, I think, but they do have this in their permanent range, just in like a plain red packaging. And then in the red packaging of the permanent range, they also make a darker shade called Goa, I believe. So this is the lighter shade. It's called Sirena. I bought this because of Andrea Ali. She's been raving about this bronzer, and she always talks about how good the undertone is if you have light or light to medium skin tone, because it has, like, it's not too red, it's not too orange. It's just like a really beautiful, almost like a beige undertone. The finish is beautiful. It's not chunky shimmer or anything. It's just a really refined, luminous finish. This is the bronzer that I'm wearing today. I've just been applying it either with my Zoeva 101 brush or the Rephr 22 brush. And yeah, I feel like a natural, bristle, dense brush works best with this formula. This is that like gel to powder formula from Chantecaille. And I find that synthetic brushes don't work as well. When I talked about this on Instagram, a lot of people asked me what brush I use with it. And then when it comes to liquid bronzers, I have these two, and there are pros and cons to both. I am going to let go of one of them today, and it's the Chantecaille. This is the Chantecaille Anti-Aging Face Tint. I really love this product. I love the texture, but I don't love the packaging, and this also has gone bad. It's starting to smell sour and stale, and it used to smell like roses. So that's my indication number one. And again, I think because it's such a large jar, you're constantly opening and closing, you're letting air go in there. And this is a product that I love in terms of texture and the way that it applies on the skin, but I don't love the shade. I find the shade to be just a little bit too peachy for me. It gives a really nice warmth to the skin, but on my skin tone, it just looks really, really orange and peachy. So that's why it worked better for me in the warmer months, in the summertime. Or if I was on vacation, I would just apply this all over, almost like a bronzing all over tint. And like I said, I love the texture. I would love to see this in more shades. I would love to see maybe like a more neutral bronze undertone. I just find those shades a little bit more flattering on me, but I loved this, but unfortunately I was not able to use it up before it went bad. So I'm going to say goodbye to this. I'm keeping the Jones Road Gel Bronzer in the light shade. This fulfills the same purpose in my makeup collection. I very much use it the same way that I used the Chantecaille face tint. However, I like the formula of the Chantecaille better. The Jones Road formula isn't as smooth, but the Jones Road packaging is nicer and the Jones Road shade is nicer. And the Jones Road also comes in two darker shades. This is shade light, and as you can see, the undertone is just better on my skin tone. It's just not as orange. That's the only way I can describe it. This actually applies better with a damp beauty blender, in my opinion, but this is really long wearing on the skin. Once it sets, it really, really sets. And it's best paired with minimal makeup. In my dream world, I would get just this formula, maybe in this packaging with this color. When it comes to cream bronzers, I only kept one cream bronzer in my collection, and it's the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Skin Enhancer in shade light medium. The color is absolutely perfect. I love this formula. It's really balmy. It's dewy. I love this product the most when I'm just doing a lighter coverage base, like a skin tint or something. It has this really beautiful dewy finish. I am obsessed with the undertone. It's such a good neutral bronze shade for me. It's almost like a sculpting bronzer shade. And I did part ways with the Merit cream bronzer. I really like that too, the Merit bronzer stick. I had it in shade Clay. It was just very similar to the Makeup by Mario. They fulfilled the same purpose in my makeup collection, but between the two, I would always choose this first. So I don't want to have too many options that do the same thing. I just want the best option that does that thing, and that's it. So I kept this. I passed on the Merit bronzer to a friend. That one was also a little bit lighter and a little bit warmer, so I prefer the color of this one, and I also like the packaging of this one too. I like that it's just a big round pan. For powder bronzers, I have three, 2 matte and 1 luminous. For the 2 matte bronzers, I have my winter shade and my summer shade. We have the Jones Road bronzer in the shade Light Tan. Absolutely love the color, again, of this bronzer. It's not orange, it's not too red. There's a little bit of pink in it. It just really looks natural on my skin. It kind of mimics the natural tan that I would get in the sun. And I really love the formula. It's quite pigmented, it's buildable. This is Jones Road Light Tan Matte Bronzer. And then for my summer shade, I like a little bit more warmth in the summer. This is the Make Beauty Bronzer in the shade Dune. A little bit more warmth in it than the Jones Road. And this formula is so nice. It's almost like a cream to powder formula. There's no kick up, it's not dusty at all. It's a really beautiful, warm bronzer. So I do like a little bit more warmth in the summertime. So here is the Make Beauty Dune bronzer, and then the Jones Road Light Tan. So you can see here the slight difference in tone and depth. And then we have my luminous powder bronzer, the Chantecaille Sirena. The luminosity is just really, it's elegant, it's refined, it looks natural on the skin. Like I said, there's no chunky shimmers or anything. So this is Chantecaille Sirena. Here's kind of how it compares with the other two. We've got 5 bronzers in the bronzer wardrobe, which sounds absolutely ridiculous. I could probably realistically get away with just having maybe 2 bronzers. A girl's gotta have options, you know? So just to recap, for liquid bronzer option, we have the Jones Road Gel Bronzer in the shade Light. For a cream bronzer option, we have the Makeup by Mario SoftSculpt Skin Enhancer in shade Light Medium. For matte powder bronzers, we have the winter shade, Jones Road Light Tan, the summer shade, Make Beauty Dune, and then the delightful, luminous, year-round bronzer, Chantecaille Sirena. Here it is. So, I'm very happy with this. Honestly, if I really wanted to do a Hannah Louise Poston style, super edited, super ruthless declutter, I guess I would just keep the Makeup by Mario and the Chantecaille and the Jones Road. Very curious to know if you are a bronzer lover like me. Do you like to have a nice array of options depending on the mood that you're in, the products that you're pairing with it, the kind of look that you're going for? Or are you even more streamlined, more minimal, and you just have maybe 1 or 2 bronzers that kind of work for you year round, no matter what you're doing? Let me know your favorites in the comments below. I can't wait to catch up with you there. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.